pull together. So for a question like this, look at our options. Become friends, work harmoniously, be successful, live happily. So we can quickly try and apply a little bit of context clues here in this one. You're pulling together something. Together being your clue word here. Look at the options and try and see which one do you think is the answer. Right? So one of your clue words from the options, most of you got it right, is harmony. What's the meaning of harmony? Imagine a music band, right? Imagine a music band. So there are people singing in the band, there are people on the piano, there are people on the drums, there's a guy on the guitar. So all these guys have to work together to produce a beautiful, pleasant melody, right? They should work in harmony. So pulling together, yes, coordination, that's right. So harmony being another clue word, which means you're referring to everything coming together to produce the same effect. So just to put this in context, let's look at an example sentences. If we pull together as a team, we can get this job done on time. So which means what? We have to work together. We have to have the same goal. Coordinate, cooperate, yes. Once in a blue moon. I'm guessing this is an idiom which most of you are familiar with. Very rarely, common, predictable, ordinary. Right? So this is a thing that you're very familiar with. So you can just apply logic, right? For this one. Is it something common that we see a blue moon? No. Hardly. Rarely. Right? So this is a easy one. Let's not spend a lot of time on this. But just to put it in a context, once in a blue moon, it rains here in Chennai, right? So every time, idioms and phrases, try and create your own example sentences, it will be easier. Fish out of water. Fish out of water. Again, apply a little bit of logic for this. Talk sensibly. Yashveer, sensible is an adjective, but you're explaining or you're describing to how he talks, right? You need an adverb. So he talks sensibly. How does he talk? Sensibly. Answering the question how, I need an adverb, not the adjective sensible. Okay, fish out of water. This one again, apply a little bit of logic, obviously. Dehydrated. There is no question of dehydrated, right? Where is the question of dehydrated? The fish will die if it's out of water, right? It is the most uncomfortable position for the fish. Yeah, so just apply a little bit of logic for this, you'll get it. The context is we're talking about a fish and not us. So, but what does it mean? Which means it is a new position, you're not familiar with the environment. So, just to put it in context, I felt like a fish out of water at my new workplace, right? Try and create your own example sentences immediately to register meaning. But then again, this is not a very tough idiom. All moonshine. Options are glowing, far from reality, celestial, about the moon. So for an idiom like this, either you know it or you don't know it. Because some of them will come back and say, hey, it could be one. About the moon means what? So let me give you some example sentences for this, okay? So if I say, nonsense, that's just moonshine. I don't believe a word. Or if I say, Raj is my favorite example person. Raj talks much of his wealth, but it is all moonshine. So what does it mean? Yeah? So from the context that I've given, what do you think is the meaning? All moonshine can be, different meanings. Total lies, right? Like you can't, it's like unreal. You just can't believe it, right? So the closest one is option 2, far from reality. You are looking at the literal meaning, but the idiomatic meaning is, so that's just moonshine. I don't believe a word. Raj talks much of his wealth, but it is all moonshine. So basically something that is far from real or total lies. Call on. Options: telephone, seek help, pay a visit, order. For the longest time, a lot of people didn't understand this particular phrasal verb, call on. So call on means, yeah. So let's, seems like all of you know what it is. So I'm planning to call on my friend who has been sick, whatever. So pay a visit. So I'm planning to pay a visit.